Oh, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Neville Phil, and what you're currently seeing is a picture of a car from a car wreck I had when I was 16 years old. Went end over end, car caught on fire after I got out of it. Walked away with a scratch on my ankle, thank God. Anyway, got some good old domination gameplay on standoff here. I'm using the MK48 with quick draw handle, stock, and suppressor. Good old suppressor. Man, I don't believe the suppressor should be an attachment that's allowed to be put on a LMG, to be honest. But it's pretty damn effective, so why not use it? Anyway, so saw where Thunder had tweeted something about custom maps, fan-made maps. Frito also had tweeted that. And it kind of got me thinking, because something that somebody immediately said was they wouldn't do that because it would do away with DLC, which is very true. So an alternative to that could be charging maybe a small fee, kind of like these little camos and stuff cost like $2 for any map you want to make. I think they'd actually make more money with it that way. Personally, I don't necessarily believe it's a great idea, but I believe it's a fun idea as I pick up the 3-piece. But I believe it is a fun idea. And I think it would add a new element of excitement to Call of Duty, to maybe have servers where it's just fan-made maps. I think that'd be pretty fucking cool. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. But like I said, I don't think it's a great idea. I think it's a good idea, just not a great one. Ideally, what I would like to see, I don't know how many of you have played Warhawk, but some in Warhawk, which unfortunately didn't make a return in Starhawk, which pissed me the fuck off, was every map started off pretty damn big for the 32-player game mode, and there were different variations of the map that got smaller and smaller for the different game modes, or for the different amount of players playing the map. So you probably, I believe it was about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 variations for each map, and that is something I would like to see. Maybe make it where there's 3, I'd say, probably at the most on Call of Duty, as we get the VSAT from good old Murky Man. But make it where there's like 3 variations to the map: the full scale one, the medium, and then the small size one. I think it'd be a lot of fun. That was some horrible aim. Thank God for stock there, otherwise I'd probably die. But I think that'd be a lot of fun and could really extend the life of the game, plus add new elements. Now there's a challenge in doing that, in keeping the maps balanced whenever you start to break down into the different layouts of the map. So there's an issue there. But for the most part, I feel that Warhawk achieved that at Incognito Studios, I believe what it was. Now it's currently called Lightbox. So why couldn't Treyarch or Infinity Ward achieve that? Sorry I laugh, man. I just don't have faith in Infinity Ward to do shit properly, to be honest. But it's something I'd like to see. The idea of custom maps, I think, would actually be a nice alternative along with DLC, to where people could pay for their custom maps, and maybe you pay for that playlist or something. Now, as long as they can make money off of it, they'd be willing to do it, I believe, if they could figure out a way to kind of implement it properly. But in another token, you got to look at the fact that with Black Ops 2, they kind of seem to be pushing more toward the competitive side. Fan-made maps, not a very good idea in regards to that. So it would strictly be a public thing, and you also have to come across the fact that fan-made maps probably aren't going to cater to certain weapons. So there's issues there that would have to be kind of worked through. But it is feasible. It is possible to do that. Like I said, I don't necessarily think it's a great idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. Just, it's a fun concept that, if implemented properly, could be a lot of fun and kind of bring something new to the table for Call of Duty. If I read it correctly, Frito said Halo 4 has implemented this, so Treyarch or Infinity Ward to implement it soon, because they're very good at ripping off other people's shit and putting it into their game and making it something new, like the whole Pick 10 system being a ripoff of Mag, the whole Hardpoint being a ripoff of King of the Hill, Kill Confirmed being a ripoff of, I believe it's Uncharted or something like that. They're very good at doing that, so it'll probably get implemented shortly, now that somebody else has done it. it'll probably be maybe not in the next installment of Call of Duty, but you could see that going forward. Hopefully, if it does occur, there's some really good guidelines, as Murky Man says my ass right there, but there's some really good guidelines and restrictions in regards to making maps, so that you can't make one side just dominantly more overpowered than the other side in regards to the layout. Not too many levels and shit like that. But I do believe it'd be an interesting thing to see. Unfortunately, I don't believe it would be implemented properly at first, because there would be a lot of bugs to work out, which I believe would lead to a lot of fucked up maps that would piss a lot of people off. So the question really becomes, in that situation, are fans more capable at making fun, good maps than developers? I don't necessarily say they aren't, because a lot of people probably have some great ideas for map design in their head. So I'd like to see those be able to, you know, become actual maps. And at the same time, you also have to look at it from the perspective of the developer. It would, you know, be a challenge for them, because obviously the map would have to be beta tested first and see how it goes. So I think the easier idea to implement to keep it fresh and add something new would be to have different variations of the same maps. You cut certain parts off, maybe make the map smaller, larger. And in that case, most maps would need to start out in a large scale and be toned down. I mean, Turbine might not be a terrible map if you toned it down a little bit. Aftermath, if you took away some of that shit, it probably wouldn't be terrible. I mean, could you imagine Aftermath if the entire map was basically just the surrounding area of the B flag? Maybe put A inside the building, C inside the bus, and have at it from there. I mean, it'd be a fun little chaotic fucking map now, wouldn't it? As opposed to the large piece of shit we have now. And then, what's that other huge ass map I hate besides Turbine? No, it is Turbine, yeah. Turbine could be helped by that. You know, just reducing the size of the map so it's not as terrible, and you know, it can still have long lines of sight. It's just not too large for a 6v6 game mode. And that way you'd never have restrictions on the maps that can be put in Ground War. You could just put the upscaled versions in Ground War so they have all their maps. Because I mean, the dumbest shit I've ever seen is maps that at launch aren't, you know, fully capable of handling a 9v9 game mode. So you basically alienate the Ground War playlist from being able to play maps that, you know, they basically paid for with the launch of the game. So I'd like to see that change, and I would love to see this idea implemented. If you haven't played Warhawk and you're on PS3, you could check out some videos on it. I think I have a couple on my channel. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.